evening. So don't be afraid of the news. Let's get started. This week, the White House announced they were going to release a secret memo about the drone strikes on Americans in Yemen. You know, the ones that had the ties to Al-Qaeda. Now, I'm not a fan of drone strikes myself. I prefer a guy, if you're willing to kill somebody, you got to get right in their face and do it. But that's not what this is about for me. What this is about is the White House is patting themselves on the back for releasing information that either we should know all of or none of. Okay? It's all or nothing. You know, you're going to tell us about one drone strike. One drone strike. You're going to give up the goods on that. And that's it? That's all we're going to get? I'm not cool with that. I call bullshit. By the way, Michelle Obama will be on Nashville next week, so make sure to check that out. Scientists found bones to what they call the titanosaurus. It's going to be the biggest dinosaur that's ever been found, supposedly. 19 million years old, weighs upwards of like 13 elephants, or as we call in the McLean household, a fuck ton. I believe that's a very specific number. But I don't want to be the party pooper here or anything, but let's not forget the lackluster past biggest dinosaurs. Let's see, in 1983 we had the Ultrasaurus. Let's see, in 1991 we had the Seismosaurus. Ooh, the marketing department really messed up on that one. But what happened to them? Why have we not heard of them since? Because they turned out to be fake. They turned out to be a bunch of other dinosaurs that had just died in the same place. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see here. Scientists this week figured out that wearing Google glasses for an extended period of time is bad for your eyes. Duh, right? You know, between that and, with that and the abundance of pornography on the internet, the average American male is going to be blind in just a couple of years. Fact. Mark me words. Here first. Don't be afraid of the news. Also this week, scientists gave the official approval for the robot hand for amputees and for men who own Google glasses. Due to global warming, Antarctica's ice sheet is collapsing. It's making sea levels rise more and more every year. Before we know it, we're all going to have beachfront property. And the cool thing is, though, DC Comics is finally happy because Aquaman will become relevant again. A prehistoric teen was found in the Yucatan. A 13,000-year-old Chicana may be the oldest evidence of man to be found in America. And it's raising all these people to ask, so who really was the first American? My question is, why do you care? This is so cool and something we should all be sharing instead of putting the blame on something like someone's got to put their stamp on it. I mean, she was found next to 26 extinct animals in a sinkhole, which really does sound like the worst Pixar movie ever. Coming this fall, Down. All right, and our last one tonight, folks. In Japan, they've been for years working on this magnetic levitating train that can go upwards at 1,600 miles an hour. Think about that for a second. A train, a use of mass transportation that doesn't use fossil fuels or anything. It uses magnets. It doesn't hurt anybody. I mean, you could get from, what do they tell us? Paris to Moscow in an hour, right? New York to LA in like an hour and a half. You could go from Mexico to fucking Canada in like 2 hours. And I believe in this very xenophobic time we live in, that's very important to make it easier for people to go to complete other ends of the earth or out of their own freaking couch as easily and as quickly as possible. You know, hell, at this point, I believe it should be mandatory that you should take a vacation of some sorts. We're going to pick you up and you're going to go here for a couple weeks just so you can see how other people live. You know, it has to be done. We're not going to tell you where to go, but you got to get off your ass and go. Granted, that sounds a little heavy, a little Russia in the 80s, but, you know, we're not going to send you to the, gulag. It's just, maybe you should go to Spain. Maybe you should go to Middle America and see what it's like on the other side of the coin. Maybe you should go to fucking Detroit. God knows they could use it. I believe this is very important. Otherwise, this world is just, man, it's in trouble. It's in trouble. And if it wasn't for a little love from all of us, You know, it's like we say here, don't be afraid of the news. No fate but what we make. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.